Most rail transit in America is not fit for purpose, with classic examples of running diesel under the wires and using heavily outdated rolling stock. But this commuter operator in California has changed all of that. Caltrain recently completed a large-scale electrification project, introducing state-of-the-art brand new electric trains in the process, which are set to completely change the game for transit in the United States. Come with me as we check out this railway of the future on a ride from bustling San Francisco to San Jose in the Silicon Valley. Now join me as the journey continues. Our journey begins at San Francisco's 4th and King Street station, the northern terminus of Caltrain services on the Peninsula corridor. Opened in 1975, this is currently the only major railway terminal in downtown San Francisco, and will soon serve a greater purpose as the future terminal of the first phase of the California High-Speed Rail project in the coming years. The station here replaced the former 3rd and Townsend depot, dating back to 1914, and it's safe to say that its present-day incarnation reflects the gradual decline of railway importance in the United States today. But still, the station does the job, and was it possible to get a pizza or a Subway in the station back then? As you can see, the ticket kiosks at the station are no longer operational. Caltrain, King Street's sole operator, uses automated ticket machines through which tickets and Clipper cards are distributed. Clipper cards are basically pay-as-you-go travel cards like the Oyster card used across the Transport for London network, where you top them up and use them as and when you need, and these work out cheaper than tickets, as we'll see later. Before heading to the platforms, the card needs to be scanned on the reader like so. The service we'll be taking today is the 514 Express service to San Jose Diridon. Caltrain operates 3 types of services on the Peninsula corridor: local for trains stopping at almost every station, limited for trains that skip some stops, and express trains which only stop at the more popular stops on the Caltrain network. But enough about that, my train leaves in 3 minutes, so let's hurry! And here they are, Caltrain's brand new electric multiple units, or EMUs. Caltrain will operate a total of 23 7-car trains built by Swiss manufacturer Stadler in Salt Lake City, Utah, from the operator's successful KISS platform, which are the mainstay of many long-distance and regional services across mainland Europe, though these particular KISSes are noticeably larger, which I'll come back to later. The trains gradually entered service from 11th of August 2024, with all services between San Francisco and San Jose switching to KISS operation from the 21st of September 2024, replacing the majority of their diesel-haul trains, such as the gallery cars on the adjacent platform. These KISS trains are powered by the 25 kV overhead wires installed during the Caltrain electrification project, and include features new to the United States which are fairly common in mainland Europe, though unusually for Stadler there's no level boarding. One set is also named after former US Congresswoman Anna Eshoo, who helped secure over $1 billion in federal funding to complete the Caltrain electrification project. But anyway, let's get on board. The KISS sets are double-deckers, which are ideal for commuter routes like this, which can get quite busy. The interior is standard class only, laid out in a 2x2 configuration throughout with mostly airline seating, which I've chosen for today's trip to San Jose. As I mentioned previously, this is a Caltrain Express service, meaning we won't stop at every station en route, but we'll still call it a fair few as we progress down the Peninsula corridor and into the Silicon Valley. We eventually arrive into San Jose Diridon station at around 4:20 PM, taking just an hour to cover the 50-mile distance. Not bad for a commuter train. We leave San Francisco bang on time at 3:20 PM Pacific Standard Time.
Next stop, 22nd Street. Caltrain is a proof of payment system. Please have your Clipper card, mobile phone, or ticket ready for inspection. Customers without a valid fare will receive a notice of violation. Thank you for your cooperation. In the event of an emergency, please stay seated and listen carefully to the instructions from the train crew or emergency responders. If you are instructed to use an emergency exit, use caution and walk to the side of the tracks at least 15 feet from the closest rail.
As we leave San Francisco, keep an eye out on the right for the two AEM-7 electric locomotives, which Caltrain purchased from Amtrak for testing on the newly electrified route to San Jose, as well as a former Caltrain F40PH locomotive and gallery car, which seem to have found a new purpose as Christmas lights. From the rear of the train, you can also see the impressive length of the 7-car KISS. The former loco hall sets were 5 carriages long, so this is a much welcome capacity increase for Bay Area commuters. As I mentioned earlier, this service is a peak time express service, though we do make a fair few calls along the way at most key stations. Our first stop is San Francisco's 22nd Street station. Previously named 23rd Street, this is the only station on the whole Caltrain network to be located beneath street level. Just before South San Francisco is where our train starts to pick up speed. We pass through Bayshore at 79 miles per hour, currently the fastest speed on the Caltrain network despite the KISS sets having a top speed of 110 miles per hour, but more on this a little later. The ride quality at these speeds is amazing and a significant improvement on the older loco hall sets. To the left is the Brisbane Lagoon, a remnant of the San Francisco Bay which was formed by the construction of the US Highway 101 causeway, with landfill in its north and central portions causing it to form into the diminished state we see today. But enough about the scenery, let's now check out the interior of the new KISS EMUs. For a commuter service, I think the seats are actually pretty good. The padding is adequate and the ergonomics are brilliant, which provides great levels of comfort. Whilst there are no armrests, the space between the seats is ideal for placing smaller items such as a phone. Just don't forget to pick it up though. Below this as well are two 120 volt US power sockets, though my adapter would fall out from time to time. Not sure whether it's a specific issue, but let me know your experiences in the comments. Now, another small complaint I have is the legroom. Whilst the seat pitch is generous for a commuter train, it seems Stadler have put in the same underframe bar as they've done on the UK flirts, which does ruin what would otherwise be very decent space. If this isn't to your taste though, don't worry. There's plenty of aisle seating just next to the stairs and some table seating throughout the consist, which, I should also add, has a near perfect window alignment. At the back of each seat are grab handles to aid those with reduced mobility, with coat hooks being located just next to the window. I'm guessing that this is due to it being a commuter train, but I couldn't find any large luggage racks present, just the overhead luggage racks, which is a bit strange given Caltrain also provides links to both San Francisco and San Jose airports. Overall, I would say these trains are a huge improvement to what they're replacing, and a huge step change for commuter rail travel in the United States, though they're far from perfect, especially compared to their European counterparts. Our train now calls at Millbrae, which provides connections to the BART metro system as well as local bus services to San Francisco International Airport. Another thing that you won't see in this shot is Millbrae being the site of the Millbrae Transport Museum, another one on my long list of transit museums abroad I need to visit. Have you been before? Mentioned earlier, one theme you may notice is that these trains are a lot bigger and more, shall we say, box looking than their European counterparts. The main reason for this is to provide more space, which is permitted thanks to the US loading gauge being much larger than it is in Europe. This is highlighted well on the lower deck, which is ideal for those who can't handle the stairs or prefer the larger space. Just before each set of stairs is an instruction sheet and carriage map in the event the train needs to be evacuated in case of an emergency. Another huge plus point of these trains is the large amount of bike storage present. Literally the entire lower deck on carriages 3 and 6 is dedicated to storing bikes, which was well used as you can see. I also like the seats in the area for those who don't want to leave their bikes unattended, which whilst not revolutionary is something lacking on many services in Europe. The wheelchair space, located in the second car to the rear of the train, features tip-up seats which are designed for those with reduced mobility, meaning they can be folded away in the event a wheelchair user needs to occupy the space. I should also note that the wheelchair space also includes a small bench, as well as a single seat layout just next to the accessible toilet, which annoyingly is the only one on each 7-car train.
Next stop, San Jose Diridon.
There are a few crumbs on the floor and whatnot, but otherwise this is a relatively clean toilet which definitely ticks the right boxes. One thing I liked was the transfer seat to aid those with reduced mobility in getting on and off the toilet seat, with there of course being baby changing facilities, coat hooks and an electrical shaver socket too. We now make a call at Redwood City, another stop served by all Caltrain services. The original station building here was actually built in 1901, however, following a remodel and relocation to the west side tracks in 1937, it was sadly burnt down in 1979, eventually being replaced with the waiting shelter seen here in 1995, which includes a clock tower as a callback to the original 1901 build. The next stop at Palo Alto is a significant one. This is the second busiest station on the entire Caltrain network after San Francisco, seeing around 4,803 passengers on average in Caltrain's midweek ridership schedule for 2024. This is principally due to its location in the centre of the Silicon Valley, Palo Alto being known as its birthplace and being dubbed a global leader in technological development.
It doesn't come out like that. Because one of the big things I had to work on for my review today is like the whole weekend
Oh, and before I forget, there is free Wi-Fi on the train. This was relatively easy to connect to, and I have to admit it worked pretty fast, being able to stream YouTube videos and use social media with ease. We continue now through the Silicon Valley at the maximum line speed, and I bet you're wondering, why has Caltrain electrified its corridor whilst most transit companies in the US continue to use diesel-powered trains? Well, Caltrain will be sharing their main corridor between San Francisco and San Jose with the upcoming California high-speed rail, which I briefly mentioned earlier, which will eventually link San Francisco and Sacramento with Los Angeles and Anaheim. And to reach downtown San Francisco as part of Phase 1, the high-speed railway will be sharing Caltrain's tracks, which provided the funding for the project to kick off in 2017, despite having been under consideration since 1992, and line speeds will eventually increase to 110 miles per hour between San Francisco and San Jose. Yep, 7 years is quite a long time to electrify just over 50 miles of track, but bear in mind that political issues and COVID would have pushed this project back further, especially given that the railways are a low priority over here compared to in Europe or parts of Asia. As we pass through Santa Clara Station for San Jose Airport, we can see a lineup of Caltrain's old gallery car coaches in storage, though it isn't the end of the line for them just yet. It was recently confirmed a few days after I recorded this video that 19 of Caltrain's old F40 diesel locomotives and 90 gallery cars would be exported to Peru and used as part of a new commuter service in the country's capital Lima, so it's great to see a new and beneficial use for the old workhorses of California's commuter rail.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure how I feel about it. Because I don't know how much money they spend, but I don't feel like cutting there is necessary. But I don't really. But are you happy with how it is now? Do you think that it's been fruitful?
We're now passing Caltrain's maintenance facility in San Jose, so it's about time to sum up the trip. On the whole, I was really impressed with these trains. Despite some minor design flaws, I do think that Stadler and Caltrain did a great job with the US variant of the KISS, and I'm confident these will set a new precedent for commuter rail services in the United States going forward. As mentioned towards the beginning of the video, I travelled using a Clipper card, with the final tap-out balance at San Jose Diridon being $9.95 compared to $10.50 using a normal ticket, which isn't too bad for a journey that normally takes 1 hour and 20 minutes with the stopper, and certainly a lot cheaper than most commuter trains the US has on offer. Anyway, We arrive on time into San Jose Diridon at 16:20.
Watch your step when moving the trains, and on behalf of our entire crew, thank you for choosing Caltrain.
Now it's over to you. What do you think of Caltrain's brand new electric trains? Do you also think that other state commuter services should follow in Caltrain's example? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and one last thing I should mention, it's not completely the end of the line for the diesel trains yet. The electrification only runs as far as Tamian for now, just a couple of miles south from Diridon, so some newer Bombardier bi-level coaches and MP36 PH3C locomotives have been retained to operate weekday peak time extensions from San Jose Diridon to Gilroy, with Caltrain having ordered a 4-car KISS set from Stadler capable of operating with batteries as well as from the overhead wires to run the shuttle service in the near future. And that brings me to the end of the video. Please like and share it if you enjoyed to aid the channel's growth, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more content such as this weekly. Right, time to enjoy the nice weather here before heading back to San Francisco later. Thanks so much for coming with me on this trip, and I look forward to bringing you with me on my next one.